Hi guys, welcome to Monitoring and Evaluation Made Simple. I'm your host, Coach Alexander. As you are well aware, the coronavirus outbreak has really haunted the world we live in today. But there's a lot of things we can learn from it. I want to talk about this coronavirus as a layman, not as someone who's an expert or someone who's a scientist or someone who's a doctor, no. Because I must mention that I have none of these professions. I'm just a normal person who goes for work every day, who's just a member of society, who's going through the same problems as everybody else worldwide. You see, I have to also mention that I've only been relying on the international news channels like BBC, Sky News, because those ones are usually the more authentic stations. And I have to say that there's really a lot you can learn. So this coronavirus is spreading like hot fire. It's wiping out a lot of people worldwide. Italy has been affected, USA has been affected, Spain, UK, and surprisingly it has no barriers. It can attack even the wealthiest of the wealthiest, apparently. So now what does this all mean? Well, it means that as a world we certainly have weaknesses, because if you look at the big nations, USA, right now I'm on CNN most of the time. USA is struggling. Their medical staff are struggling. They are always complaining that they have short supply of protective equipment. I have to say this, that I didn't think that a disease could be a big problem in this time and age of the human beings. I didn't think so, because we've advanced so much in science and technology, at least in the 1900s, early 1900s, when there was even the Spanish flu, you could understand. But at this stage, it really leaves much to be desired. It's really disappointing. And as a layman person, I think the biggest problem that was there is that we were not preparing ourselves well enough. Yes, quite all right, we have all the money in place, we have the advancement in technology, but unfortunately it hasn't been made into good use. Why do I say so? How is the coronavirus spread? It is mainly spread through the airports, through the borders. So what that means is that if there's a weakness on the borders, if there's a weakness in the airports, then someone who comes from China travels to the US is going to definitely infect others. Okay, because China was definitely where all the virus started from. So how is the monitoring and surveillance system at the borders? How is it at the airport? One thing I noticed, I've been traveling for the past 7 to 10 years now. One thing I can tell you is that there are very few times, I don't remember a time when passengers were checked to see how their health was. I don't remember that time. Usually what the people at customs will do is check the luggage to see if there's any drugs, or to see whether they are bringing in any foreign substances that can potentially be harm in the society where they are going to. But the thing that they never do is monitor people's health, you see, because look at it this way. We've had all these cases of viruses in the past. It's not the first time we've had these viruses. We've had SARS, we've had Spanish flu, we've had so many things. There should have been a way to monitor, but it looks like it was not being paid, that this thing wasn't being paid much attention. So now you can see what this has meant for us today. We are at the brink of an economic shutdown. And if the coronavirus vaccine is to be found, it won't be found today, it won't be found tomorrow, it won't be found next month or 2 months from now. They are saying it would at least take a year. and some months to get the vaccine. So now governments are debating, because there's this trade-off. Should we be on lockdown and then there's no food on the table, or should we lift the lockdown and let old people get sick and die? Anyway, the thing is that the truth of the matter is that actually the coronavirus doesn't, like from what I've heard, it doesn't just affect the old people, but the most people who are affected are the old, but even the young ones are affected. So I think in future, moving forward, we need to strengthen the monitoring and surveillance system at the borders, at the hospitals, and I mean the airports. So what this means is that if someone is traveling from the United States to Asia to Africa, they need to be quarantined as standard practice, maybe for 3 or 4 days. Even if there's no pandemic in the world, they need to be monitored. This may be expensive, this may be less desirable, but look at the cost, look at what it has done to the world. Over 3 million jobs have been lost. Secondly, you've got the issue of the doctors. There are not so many medical personnel fighting this disease. Okay, so we need to think about how we are going to beef up the numbers in future. So this was my short presentation on the coronavirus outbreak, and I sure hope you've gotten 1 or 2 points. I didn't want to make this long, but if you want, you can look at some of the other videos I've done on the coronavirus. Listen to those videos, comment on them, let me know what you think. But apart from that, stay well, sanitize your hands often until we meet again. Oh, one last thing, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get the latest updates. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Coach Alexander. See you on the other side. Bye.